If you thought AI tools were already moving fast, today's update might completely rewrite your expectations. Deep Agent just rolled out a massive upgrade, one that pushes the entire platform into a new category. What it can do now genuinely feels like we've crossed an invisible line in software creation. And once you see how far this leap goes, you may realize we're not just improving workflows, we're stepping into an entirely new era. So what's actually happening here? The latest version of Deep Agent can now build fully functional web services entirely on its own. Not drafts, not prototypes. Actual production-ready services with API contracts, logic layers, deployment pipelines, and real endpoints you can plug straight into your stack. It designs the schema, wires the back end, and deploys the service, all while you're still thinking through the idea. So how is this even possible? This update lands at the perfect moment because Gemini 3 just arrived inside Chat LLM on Abacus AI, powering all of this with a stronger foundation. The demos don't look like traditional AI coding demos anymore. They look like real infrastructure being built in real time, the kind of work senior engineers usually handle. And it's not just faster, it's a different way of building entirely. But why does that shift matter so much? Because even in 2023, building a serious SaaS product meant at least half a year of engineering, authentication, dashboards, payments, workflow logic, environment configs, deployment pipelines. Every step was a challenge. You needed a big budget, a solid team, and endless debugging sessions. Even after burning $300 for OOK, stability wasn't guaranteed. Shipping a product felt like a war of attrition. So what changed between then and now? Now, with Deep Agent, that same workload collapses into minutes. We've watched people build real prototypes in 10 minutes with Stripe fully integrated, authentication locked in, and a working dashboard. It sounds like marketing until you see it happening live. But the real magic is the continuous pipeline. The moment you describe the idea, the agent begins designing, connecting, assembling, and deploying. But what does that pipeline actually look like? First, it creates the API contract. Then, it constructs the request response schema. After that, it builds out the logic and connects any external services you mentioned. Once the workflow is assembled, it deploys a real endpoint that you can immediately call. And it doesn't stop there. It versions everything, tracks changes, exposes logs, and keeps everything fully observable and debuggable. So how far does this go? This isn't no-code anymore. This feels like a general-purpose back-end engineer, except it's an agent that never gets tired, doesn't miss details, and doesn't need meetings. The Stock Insights demo proves this. You tell it what kind of market intelligence you want, indicators, alerts, summaries, movements, watch lists, and it builds a real-time API that plugs directly into your dashboards, trading systems, and analytics tools. But can it handle more than finance? Yes, and the next example shows why. The memory-rich Telegram chatbot demonstrates true long-term conversational intelligence, not the typical bots that forget everything. This one keeps personality, tone, identity, and context across sessions. Telegram is just the user interface. The intelligence resides in the API endpoints Deep Agent generates, which means you can use the same intelligence on a website, mobile app, internal tool, anywhere. But what about unstructured messy data? That's where the invoice extraction demo shines. Upload invoices with inconsistent layouts, formats, fonts, and structures. Deep Agent identifies vendors, taxes, totals, dates, line items, and other tricky fields. Normally you'd write custom parsers for each variation. Instead, the agent builds a pipeline automatically and deploys it as a clean API endpoint your ERP or finance tools can query. But can it handle qualitative text? Absolutely. The Sentiment Intelligence demo processes raw text, reviews, surveys, transcripts, comments, and extracts emotions, themes, issues, frustrations, product requests, and satisfaction signals. It transforms messy human language into structured data you can immediately plug into analytics dashboards or buy tools. And as always, it becomes a callable endpoint instantly. But what about full applications, not just APIs? This is where the upgrade becomes surreal. The tutoring booking site demo shows Deep Agent building a full app from scratch. Landing page, pricing system, session durations, Stripe payments, booking flow, everything. It sets it up after a short prompt, asks for your Stripe keys, and handles the entire integration. Then comes the wildest part: debugging. How does it debug? Deep Agent uses a virtual computer. It opens a real browser, inspects the console, clicks buttons, fills out forms, and fixes issues the way a human car tester would, except faster and with perfect recall. It can recreate bugs you didn't even notice and trace them back through the workflow. Developers watching these demos describe it as the moment everything changed, because the agent isn't just writing code, it's understanding the product. But does it work for simpler products too? Yes, the $1 lead magnet demo shows it. Email input, Stripe payment, download page, upsell offer, the entire end-to-end flow built in minutes. Then there's the resume reviewer demo. Upload resume, AI analyzes it using your OpenAI key, generates insights, gives recommendations, and offers a $9 monthly upgrade. The entire backbone of the product came from one short prompt. So what does all this mean for the industry? As of 2025, we've officially moved into the era of autonomous agents that build software, not just helping, building, designing, testing, deploying, maintaining. In 2026, we'll see embodied agents controlling physical systems. In 2027, systems will improve themselves without waiting for updates. Deep Agent is one of the first real-world glimpses of that future. But how fast will this evolve? Abacus AI is accelerating it through weekly challenges that offer up to $2,500 for the best. Community-built projects. Builders push the platform evolves, and the cycle accelerates every month. This feedback loop is turning into a mini innovation engine, and every week, the demos start to look more like tools replacing entire departments. So where does it all go from here? That's today's update. Deep Agent just became even more powerful. Gemini 3 is live. The platform is accelerating faster than anyone expected, and if this pace continues, the next breakthroughs might be even more disruptive, even more transformative, and even more impossible to ignore. More videos coming soon. Ready to see what happens next?